Hello. No, I don't like that one. Hello!
Hi!
And welcome to 10-7 Off-Duty Podcast, your Miley Cyrus nudes free iPad discount quadcopter podcast.
What
trying
are
to be
you talking
trying
about?
to be more SEO friendly, so that way it'll get more hits on.
What's
on
SEO?
where you put search engines and then you search something. So maybe if I say that stuff, it'll pop up in more search engines. So we can, free go-kart, $1,000 gift certificate, the normal stuff those YouTube punks like to put on their whatever the fuck they do, so that way they get more views. Think it'll work?
I don't know. I don't understand that kind of algorithm. So.
Okay, I don't think it will. Anyway, I'm Andrew Straley, your again friendly neighborhood natural selection interventionalist, and with me is Clyde.
Hey.
I'm fucking tired.
Me too.
Yay. We're both tired. Yay. I think I'm more tired when I don't work than I am when I do work.
Yeah, what do they call it? Lethargy or something like that?
Yeah, I mean depression. Depression, anxiety, crippling insanity. I don't know. Probably one of those.
Dude, my son cracked my shit up. All right. Now, before I tell you the story, understand that one of my favorite drinks in the world, favorite quote-unquote beers in the world.
Semen.
No.
Okay.
No. It's technically an ale. And no, it's not
wait a
Red's
minute.
Apple
If
Ale.
SEO friendly actually works, then every time somebody Googles semen, we're gonna come up.
Dude, anytime somebody Googles poop, they're gonna come. We're gonna come up because
poop.
of you.
Yeah, okay.
Because of you.
Adults pooping pants. They were looking for porn and found us. Anyway, go ahead.
All right. Before I tell the story, like I said, I just gotta say that one of my favorite drinks in the world is technically an ale. I just call it beer when I'm buying it because it's a little easier for people to when they
Doesn't
ask.
make you sound so strange.
No, I actually prefer ales over beers. Is
Okay.
my thing.
All right. It's an apple ale though.
Honestly, I'm not talking about Reds. I'm not talking about Red's Apple Ale. Red's got too sweet.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like they just say like, "What? Everybody likes it? Let's add 4 more pounds of sugar per bottle."
Yeah, I'll be honest though. When I got off work at like 7 o'clock in the morning and been up for 24 hours, that sugar would keep me up. So
Dude, man,
nice.
I don't like it.
Okay.
Like they're like, most people most beer drinkers when they have something that I like, they're like, "Oh man, it's too sweet." That's how I feel about Reds.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. What I actually like is something called Wicked Grove, and you can buy it at Aldi's.
Weird.
Yeah, it's just like one.
I was in Aldi's not too long ago. They've got a fucking wine section now.
Yeah,
wine
that's actually
and beer and
that's actually where I buy it from. It's right there. It's got
So
an angry
crazy.
little apple.
okay.
It's an angry little apple.
I'm
as the
scared to
emblem.
try any of those though.
The Wicked Grove is actually pretty good. I'll bring you over a bottle or two so you can try it before you buy it.
Sweet.
Yep.
That way I can get more alcohol when we do this thing.
Honestly, the way what I like about it is it kind of tastes like a combination of Smith and Forge, which I don't know. If
Yeah,
you've ever
hard
had.
cider.
Smith and Forge, and but it's got the kind of crisp taste that a woodchuck does.
Gotcha.
That's why I like about it. But anyway, so that
So you
explains
gave one
a
to your
little bit of a
son.
backstory. No. My son comes up to me one day. Now this is out of the blue.
Okay.
He walks up to me. He goes, "Daddy, did you know that Gaga, which is grandma,
Okay.
likes?"
The Lady Gaga.
Oh, sorry. No, he said, "Daddy, did you know that mommy likes cake?" I was like, "I do know that mommy likes cake." And he was like, "Do you know
So does
that
Gabriel Iglesias.
that Gaga likes graham crackers?" I was like, "Gaga does like graham crackers. You're right." He's like, "And Daddy," it's like, "What?" He's like, "You like," and he stops. I'm like, "Wait, what does Daddy like?"
Pussy.
No, he's like, "Daddy likes scary apple drink." And I was like, "You're right, dude. Daddy loves beer." And he's like, "Yeah, Daddy likes beer." I was like, "Okay, but when anybody else asks, You just tell him that Daddy likes sweet cakes. Like, all the little Debbies, all that. I love those. It's like, just so Daddy doesn't sound like an alcoholic. He's like, alcoholic. And like waddles off.
That's not going to come back to bite you in the ass.
Yeah.
He's going to be at preschool. Daddy, alcoholic! There's going to be a meeting. Somebody's going to have to,
Daddy drinks till he cries and passes out.
Only in the bathtub, though. Covered in his own feces. And back to poop. You are welcome.
In my adult life, I don't think I've ever shit myself when I wasn't horribly, horribly sick. And I can't even particularly remember a case then.
I don't know.
You just shit yourself right there.
No. I'm not sure I ever told this story. Maybe I did whenever you told your waffle stomp story.
Can't be any worse than anything else you've told.
I know. I'm bad. But in a good way. I think I was sick one time. And I was in the shower.
Oh God! Did you crap down your down your leg?
I trusted a fart, and yeah, that was not a good time. I did waffle stomp before.
Hear that loaf just?
No, it wasn't a loaf. Luckily,
oh.
there were very few chunks left in that lovely little escapade of mine. I'm so sorry for everybody listening that you hear about my poo.
Hey, you're a fan of Supernatural.
I am.
That's actually another thing I was going to tell you about. Yesterday, I throw on Supernatural Season 1.
Okay.
Because I'm OG like that. But, no, honestly, I haven't been seeing, like, the last 2 seasons. And I heard they put Season 13 on Netflix.
Okay.
Like, the last I had seen is Season 12.
I think there's only, like, 2 or 3 more episodes in this season.
Well, I can't wait till they put it on Netflix.
Okay.
Because I don't have the time to watch it throughout the rest of the week. And so I just kind of binge my shows on weekends. Well, unfortunately, my DVR is full of a bunch of murder mysteries because I'm pretty sure my wife is planning on killing me.
Okay.
And
I actually saw a meme that was it was a drawing of some chick in bed. It's like, I can't fall asleep. Nothing is going to calm me down. And then she clicks on the TV and like from the side and she looks very like pleased
relaxed,
and relaxed, and her eyes are closed. It comes, and he comes in from the side with a knife. Dun, dun.
Yeah. That's my wife.
That is
absolutely like,
the absolute white girl show is the murder mystery show.
Dude,
true crimes.
She is the only person I have ever met that genuinely enjoys like the first 48 and Snapped.
I hate the first 48.
And I'm sitting there like, okay, you know what? I can deal with Law and Order. I can deal with NCIS. I can deal with all these other cop shows. I'm not really a fan of CSI.
Okay, yeah.
As many people are like, well, that's an original. Give me Magnum PI over CSI any day. And I'm talking about like Tom Selleck
it's
Magnum
the mustache,
PI.
Man.
Dude, I don't know what it is. I think it's like more of like the 70s, 80s timeline that they
still have
use.
to watch Lethal Weapon TV show, man.
I have not watched it. I know.
I
know. Dude, I haven't even seen the first full season of Mayans, and I'm a huge a huge biker fan.
Can I throw this in here right before you finish that?
What's up?
Okay. So I texted you right before you came over here telling you, hey, I got to run in town real quick. I got a couple errands I got to run. Just give me a few minutes. And we told him last week we live in Illinois and the weather blows a giant's penis.
Yes.
Sucks a big furry nutsack.
Yes.
Which my cat doesn't have anymore, so maybe he'll be more well-behaved when we're doing this, and he's not rubbing up against the microphone stands.
Dude, I haven't, like, the last 2 weeks I've been over here since it happened, like,
he
picks a spot and just lays there. It's
I am
like,
so happy.
Yeah, I don't think he has any reason to live anymore.
It's like, I'm okay with it. He's not being a little assy
like
little fuck.
He spent most of his time rubbing on shit and licking his balls, and you just took away
and he would,
it.
every time we'd record, he would rub up against the mic stand. So if anybody was listening, that's that whole. You would hear whatever we were talking. But the weather here sucks. It is below freezing because it was raining and snowing this morning.
Yeah, I was working outside.
It was muddy as fuck. I let my dogs out, and they tracked mud all over the place when I let them back in. And then magically, within an hour, it turned into below freezing, and now everything is frozen solid. But there was a dude when I went in town that had Kentucky plates on his bike riding through town.
Oh, that poor bastard.
I know. I wanted to pull over and just give him a hug. Like, how? Why? Why did you do this to yourself?
Here are some coveralls. Good luck.
Like, when did he ride from Kentucky? Because if it was in the last 4 weeks, bad idea, dude. I understand, but shipping companies are kind of cheap for bikes. Putting that out there. Anyway, go ahead. Yeah, I understand. You like the Mayans, but fuck cold weather riding. That is not my style.
Anyway, so I don't get a chance to record. The whole point of me saying like about the crime shows and stuff like that is I don't have really the space on my DVR to record Supernatural. And so I turned on season 1 because I'm going to rewatch from the beginning. You know, just one of those shows. From time to time I'll throw on in the background, just for background noise. And I'm sitting there and I look at my son. He's starting to get a little older, so he's starting to understand like some of these monsters, quote unquote. I can be
Right,
like,
yeah.
oh, he's just a funny monster, or oh, don't worry, don't be afraid of the monster. The heroes are gonna kick his butt, and he's like, kick his butt, and then he gets stoked. And like,
don't worry, buddy. I'll
like,
show you how guns work
like
later.
my kid is, I swear to God, he is a cross between a hold my beer guy and a bro guy.
Right.
Like. It's kind
You've
of
told a
making me
couple of the
nervous.
stories on that.
Yeah.
I can't wait till he gets just a little bit older and you get a couple more of those stories. Because he is going to be the kid that rides his bicycle off a homemade ramp and just either A, lands it like a pro, or B, biffs like a mofo.
Dude, I'm going to be one building the ramp so the ramp doesn't come out from underneath him. Because I've done it.
No. He'll
hit a ramp and it just falls apart on impact.
You'll be that guy that won't even know. You'll be the guy that like you'll be in the in your house doing something, and he'll be outside with like 2 2x4s and a
sheet of plywood.
And like, this'll work. Fuck it. Go.
But anyway, I look down on him and he's like, "Daddy," I'm like, what's up? What's his name? He's pointing at Dean.
Okay.
Now, I don't think I've ever said my son's name on the
Yeah, you
air.
did.
Oh, I have? Okay.
Well, I think so. I think because we were talking about Supernatural at one point.
Yeah, my son's name is Jensen.
Uh-huh.
No, I did not get it from the show. We just happen to like the name.
It's adjacent to the show.
We just
no one else is named Jensen.
No, we heard the name somewhere, and we just happened to like it. And then I found out that Dean's name is actually Jensen Ackles, and I was like, that's really cool. But we'd already decided.
In my opinion, it was like stereo equipment, TV show, your son. Pretty much.
Shit, in Springfield, there's an appliance company called Jensen Appliance Co.
Okay.
or something like that. That actually cracked me up. But anyways, I like the name Jensen. And then I find out that Dean's name, real name, was Jensen Ackles.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, he looks at me and goes, "Daddy, who's that? What's that guy's name?" And so I looked at him. I didn't say Sam and Dean. I was like, that guy right there? He's like, yeah. I was like, that guy right there, his name is Jensen. And he's like, his name Jensen? I was like, yeah. And he's like, Jensen Paul Russell? I was like, no. And he's like, is that guy named Daddy? Pointing at Sam. I'm like, because there was a time when we joke around, like he has 2 Spider-Man action figures. One of them's like a little like Lego one, and the other one's like a full-size action figure.
Yeah, uh-huh.
And he's a baby Spider-Man and Daddy Spider-Man.
Okay.
Well, so he's like, is that one named Daddy? I was like, not quite. His name is Jared. And he's like, Jared. I'm like, close enough.
Oh, look, I talked about the cat, and now he's being a little fuck ass again. All right. Sorry. Yeah. Did you know that Jensen Ackles actually is a pretty decent artist? Like, plays guitar and like sings in a blues like rock band and shit.
I knew he sang a lot of rock music. I didn't know he was in a blues band.
Yeah, blues-ish. Talking about like
that soul
yeah,
bluesy style of music.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I could dig that.
He's rad. I like it.
Because that's actually the country music that I listen to. That's the style, like Cody Jinks and Cody Johnson, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like Chris Knight.
You know the dude that plays, he's a character in The Walking Dead, but before that he was in, Boondock Saints.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
He has a new TV show apparently where
I can't think of his name off the top of my head.
Yeah,
I know
neither
it.
can I. Yeah,
He plays Daryl in Walking Dead.
yeah. He has a new TV show where he goes on motorcycle rides with celebrities.
Norman Reedus.
There you go.
Yeah,
You got it. Yeah, he goes on motorcycle rides with celebrities. It's like Marilyn Manson's one guy that he went on a ride with. I want to see
cool.
that show.
That was really cool.
Norman Reedus seems like just a chill dude that I'd love to hang out with, you know?
Okay, if you could hang out with any celebrity, or if you had 3 celebrities you would hang out with, who would they be?
Alive or all?
At all. They could be alive, they could be dead. Anyone.
Do you have an answer to this?
I have 2 of the 3 that I know right off the top of my head.
I have... that's so
Actually,
hard.
I may have 3, but I think the third one would get on my nerves if I hung out with them for more than a day.
My first would have to be Robin Williams. I would love to hang out with Robin Williams for a day.
Okay, I could see that. An icon.
Yeah. I mean, just because I think he would be so cool to hang out with.
See, for me, Robin Williams, hanging out with him, it's not even like the humor factor or the fact that, you know, he made 90% or was in 90% of our childhood's movies.
Mm-hmm.
But dude suffered from depression bad. So, I mean, he was probably a really wise dude, because I mean, the fact that he suffered from depression, but at the same time all he did was make people laugh. Like,
I actually
he had to see the world in a different way.
I saw a quote from him one time that's I don't know if it was from him or just about him, but it was just some of the brightest lights that you see hang out in some of the darkest areas of their mind, which is like, oh, that sucks because he was awesome. But yeah, and I think number 2 would have to be, I think it would be Norman Reedus, but in all honesty, I would want a package deal from both Boondock Saints guys, because I think those guys would be awesome to hang out with.
What if, I don't know if they do or not, but what if they really hated each other in real life?
I don't know if they did either.
Oh man, because they'd be like, I would hang out with both of them, and then you're just like holding them apart as they're trying to fight each other. Like, I should change my mind.
No, I'd hand them both a Desert Eagle and go.
Settle this.
Actually, they were planning on doing a Boondock Saints 3, I found out, but apparently both Norman Reedus and, for the life of me, I can't remember the other guy's name.
I think most people only know Norman Reedus because of Walking Dead. Let's be
right.
honest.
Yeah, he did a little bit more.
Like, everybody knows Boondock Saints, but they didn't know the actor's name until Walking Dead.
It was shit in the theaters, but then it became like a cult classic.
Oh, dude, I own both of them.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I love those things. But they actually both put a post out on social media somewhere whenever they were talking about the third one.
I changed my mind on my third actor, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah, celebrity. He's an actor, but go ahead.
They were both saying, well, due to the director's outlook on the third movie, we're not going to do it. So apparently whatever the director wanted them to do, they were like, no.
Yeah.
Not gonna
Boondock Saints in space. No. But you guys will have lightsabers. No.
Fuck off, dude. Number 3. All right, you tell your 3, and I'll try to think of my third.
Okay. First one, if I ever became famous, like if I ever do get a book published and it gets really big, if I got the chance, I would love to meet Ellen DeGeneres. No shit. Dude, I watched her show with my grandmother, her talk show. Yeah. And from time to time, if I'm home during the day, I'll turn it on. She cracks me up. I love her. She's one of my favorite people in the world.
I think it's funny. I see the YouTube videos where she has somebody like hiding in her like side table and tries to scare the other guests. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I know what you're talking
I
about.
love those.
Dude, I
so
love when
much.
she messes with people. Like, I remember there was one skit they did on one of her shows where she and Justin Bieber were, quote unquote, caught making out in the bathroom. Where they would be, like, inside the bathroom.
Fuck Justin Bieber, by
Dude.
the way.
Evidently, since the whole... okay, I'm going to catch probably a lot of hate for saying this, but from what I've heard, just in the last couple of years, since his style of music has kind of changed,
Yeah.
he's mellowed out. Like, evidently, I think that the fame got to his head at a young age, and then he felt that he had to make music that was popular as opposed to what he really wanted.
Right.
And now I think that he's getting older and he's maturing. He's realizing he could do music that he likes to do, and the fan base will follow. The fan base will show up. Now, he may not still have the same fan base he did before, but he still does have a fan base. There's a reason he's still making music.
Yeah.
But now he's a little more chilled and laid back about it because he doesn't have to basically hate himself for
Apparently,
selling
he
out.
got in a little trouble when he was touring in like Amsterdam or something like that because
That doesn't
he went to my brain hurts right now, so I'm sorry. Oh shoot, what was her name? Hid in an attic away from the Nazis.
Oh, Anne Frank.
Anne Frank. He went to the Anne Frank house, and in the guest book he wrote, Anne Frank, such a cool chick, Justin Bieber. And people were like, how do you fucking know? You never met her.
I mean, I guess I could see where the thought came from, but when you're not famous, you're like, yeah, that's not a good idea.
But calling Anne Frank a chick, too, somebody who grew
Well, exactly. Well, when you're not famous, you're probably thinking those exact words, but you're like, this is something I should not say out loud.
Yeah, exactly.
But when you're famous, at least to that level, you're probably like, you know what? I might be able to get away with this.
There are inside
But
words
you
and
can't.
outside words, and this time an inside word came out.
But anyways, that one, that skit cracked me up. They were like hiding in a bathroom. Whenever they would get a cue that somebody was on their way, they would like press really close together. And as soon as somebody would open, they'd be like, "Oh!" And they're like, "Oh my god!"
Well, Justin Bieber is a beautiful gay woman.
Well,
so.
it cracked me up because there were a couple of them that they legitimately thought they walked in on something, and they like ran out of there fast as hell.
Nice.
But then quite a few just like they realized who it was, and then they started cracking up because they're like, "Oh, son of a bitch, they got me."
I've got my third.
Go for it.
Ryan Reynolds. I would love to spend a fucking day with Ryan Reynolds. I think he would be fucking amazing to hang out with.
Yeah, I could see that.
Cause not just his Deadpool thing, but everything that I've seen him like in interviews and stuff like that. He just seems like a cool fucking dude.
I say he's a really intelligent guy. You can tell that just from the way he speaks. Like the way he thinks is a little different.
But I think,
and that I like that.
I think my version of humor and his version of humor would be about the same. So it would literally be fucking shit up for like 24 hours.
See, I would love to just be a fly on the wall when Hugh Jackman, Ryan Reynolds, and Jake Gyllenhaal are all hanging out.
Yeah.
Because evidently those guys, they screw with each other a lot.
Apparently Ryan Reynolds has been putting the push on Hugh Jackman for the third Deadpool movie to come and reprise his role as Wolverine. Well, and I hope that happens so much.
I don't know if that's going to happen, but they are crediting Hugh Jackman to be in the fourth Avengers movie. But a lot of people are jumping the gun and saying, oh my god, he's going to be Wolverine again. No, it doesn't mean he's going to be Wolverine. He could be playing another character. Now, granted, if he did reprise his role as Wolverine for the Avengers movie, that'd be freaking awesome.
Fuck yes, it would.
I would love that. But I doubt it. Yeah. I do. Only because he's already said he's retiring from the role. And
let me be honest, I am very worried about the next Avengers movie that comes out for the simple fact that 75% of the actual like actors that played the roles of Iron Man and all these other characters, their contract's up. So if they don't come back and they do that whole, we'll just get somebody who looks kind of like him to play the other one. No,
they can't do that.
No,
because they're gonna ruin their franchise, and they've got so many movies. they've got so many movies planned for after this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not just to mention that if the actor or actress themselves decide they don't want to do it, that's gonna take a hit on their career too, because then fans are gonna be like, well, they ruined it, so why would I want to go see them? And I could see a lot of people doing that. Me personally, I wouldn't give a shit, because for me, I'm like, if they don't want to do the movie, they don't want to do the movie.
Yeah, but that's one of the things that ruins, like, it ruins movies that are supposed to be within like a certain time frame, is whenever they change somebody midway. We've talked about this,
Right.
not
Honestly,
on the show,
one,
but I hate it when they change the actor that plays the role.
They have talked about recasting Wolverine many times.
Right.
And there is actually one actor that I heard is potentially could play Wolverine that I would love to see, only because I would love to see him play that animal.
Okay.
Kit Harington.
I have no idea who that is.
Jon Snow.
Okay. Not big on the whatever.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, not.
Yeah,
big
but you
on
know who
that.
it is.
Yeah, I know. Only from memes.
Well,
I learned who he is from memes.
Somebody had mentioned that he would play a decent Wolverine. I'm like, I don't know if he would play a decent Wolverine or not, but he'd definitely be somebody I would be interested in seeing. Now, will anybody ever replace Hugh Jackman? No. But people have said the same thing when Heath Ledger took over Joker from Jack Nicholson. And then other people said the same thing, that Heath Ledger would never be able to be replaced. Well, Jared Leto, as good as he is, did not replace Heath Ledger.
I hate Jared Leto with a passion of a thousand burning suns.
But
I've met
I
him.
will
He's
say
a
that,
dickhead.
what is it? Joaquin Phoenix, I think, is playing Joker now.
That'd be all right.
And from just the
His little hair lip self.
I think it's Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix has a hair lip.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't say I've ever really paid that much attention to him. But
that's why he talks like he does.
Hey, cool. Anyways, okay. So my next two. Sorry, let's get back to
yeah.
that.
I was gonna say
diving down a rabbit hole.
I was gonna say we didn't dive down a rabbit hole. We jumped in with both feet. It's in a fucking well.
First one is Ellen DeGeneres.
So okay, go ahead.
Why do you think that is so funny?
I don't know. It just is okay. Ellen, she's okay.
Taylor Kitsch.
I don't know who that is.
He played John Carter. You like superhero movies?
Yes.
Okay, do you remember
Look,
X-Men?
Talk
Wolverine,
to me like I'm 3.
X-Men Wolverine Origins?
Okay.
Okay. Or X-Men Origins Wolverine, sorry.
Okay.
He played Gambit.
Okay. All right. Now I know who that
Taylor
is.
Kitsch. He played in Friday Night Lights. He's
Look,
played John Carter.
I'm going to put this to you as easily as I can. In the many years that I've been in EMS, names I don't do. Faces I do.
But okay. So you know who I'm talking about.
Yes.
I would like to hang out with him only because there was one interview. I've only ever seen one interview with the guy. Other than like when he first really started getting his name out there with Friday Night Lights.
Okay.
Where he had to do you know how they televise sometimes with those shows, sometimes how they'll have the interviews with like multiple members of the cast.
Yeah.
And like people can ask him questions.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen him do like one of those, but an actual sit down interview, I've only ever read one that he did.
No shit.
And he even said, he was like, if somebody comes up to me and starts asking me about a movie I'm doing or something like that, I don't like that. He's like, it's not that I think they're being offensive, or it's not that I'm trying to hide anything. He's just, I don't see fame the way other people do. Okay, that's cool. He's like, but if you come up to me and you start asking me about whatever workout regimen I'm doing, or ask me about my diet or anything like that, he's like, I'm down. I'll talk to you for hours about that. I really think he's a health nut. But on top of that, he doesn't work out the way a lot of other actors and actresses do, with like just straight weights all the time.
Yeah.
No, he'll actually go running, jogging, he'll box, like he actually likes being active with his workouts.
Oh,
He'd
that's
rather
cool.
actually do something.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be pretty cool to sit down and talk to him, if nothing else, about exercise. And then I kind of have a toss-up for my last one.
Okay.
Keanu Reeves.
He would be fucking rad to hang out with.
Dude, he is one of the most chill guys in the world. He still rides public transportation.
And he's a Highlander. He's been around for hundreds of years. There can only
not
be
just,
one Highlander.
Not just that. I mean, I would love for him to show me how to shoot. I'm a
Fuck
huge
yes.
gun guy. I would love to learn how to shoot from that man.
I want to learn how to shoot from the guy that taught him how to shoot.
Right?
But
either him or
Keanu
Tom
would be
Holland.
awesome. Tom Holland.
The newest Spider-Man. Only because he's only like a year older than me.
But he looks like he's 12.
He's only like 27, 28. Well, evidently he has not let fame get to his head. Like, multiple actors and actresses have already said that, one, they will not let him answer questions during interviews about certain movies because he's got a bad habit of dropping teasers.
Nice.
Or dropping spoilers. He's got a real bad habit of it. And two, his fame has not hit him yet. Because you got to figure, he didn't really get famous until Spider-Man. He's been in quite a few things other than that.
Did you know that, speaking of spoilers, did you know that Mark Hamill, whenever they were filming Star Wars, and him and the director were the only two people that knew that Darth Vader was his father?
Yeah, you know when he found out?
When?
When the director went up to him and said, "Hey, in this scene, this is your line." And he showed him the paperwork. And he's like, "No way!"
Yeah.
He's also the voice of Joker from the 90s cartoon Batman.
Yes, he is. Mm-hmm. And
That
the reason why he looks different between two of the Star Wars videos was because horrible car accident and had to get a reconstructive surgery.
Yeah, he scars all over his face, and now he's getting older. They're starting to wrinkle up a little bit, and they're starting to become visible again. And personally, I think as Luke, I think the grizzled scars on his face look way better because it makes him look like a warrior, like a veteran warrior.
And Carrie Fisher's dead. R.I.P. Carrie Fisher.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I kind of made like the awkward fist that he was doing.
Hey, she was hot in Star Wars. And then she got not so hot afterwards. Just saying. But she was doing a lot of cocaine at the time, too. So, I mean, that's a thing.
I honestly, dude, I'm one of the few nerds you'll ever meet that did not have a Princess Leia fantasy.
Really?
Not one.
That's weird.
I know.
I'm just saying
but
she was
Luke.
hot.
Luke dough.
Oh, Clyde's coming out, y'all. That closet door just swung wide open.
I kicked it open with my pink Toms on.
And that explains the Ellen thing. Oh, God.
Hey.
You're married. I hope she knows. She's going to find out now.
She's my beard. She knows it.
All right. Well,
I lived with a gay man for 2 years. She knew something was going on.
Oh, shit. Explains why you come over here every week and it gets weird afterwards.
It does.
Yeah.
Let's edit that part out. She's going to kill me.
Nope, staying in. I like the fact that last week I didn't have to edit anything whatsoever. It just went.
Yeah? It was like, fuck it. I'm doing it. Just hit upload.
I was fucking like going through. Sounds fucking fine to me. All right, good deal. I think I had to edit one thing, but that was it. I don't want to edit very much because it takes up so much time.
No,
I have to listen to the goddamn thing like 4 times before I can actually upload it.
No shit.
Yeah. So
I don't envy your job. I just show up and talk. That is my that is my participation in this.
Speaking of jobs, I love being a medic, but I was actually recently thinking about getting out of EMS for a while. Like keeping my license, but like getting out and doing something else. Because we get paid like fuck, you know?
Yeah.
And I have a story, and I'm going to call this guy out, not by name, just by action.
Yeah. Nobody else will know, but he'll know.
Yeah.
He'll know.
Yeah, one of my former coworkers wasn't even on my shift, has never been on my shift in my entire career. From not the last service, but the service before, where they let me go for helping out a coworker. He was not on my shift, never worked on my shift, never worked with me whatsoever, and was a basic who was in medic class when I worked at the same company as him. One of the companies that I put in for they wanted to make me a supervisor. I found out recently from somebody else who works part-time, not only for the company that I applied for, but for the company that I used to work at. He basically bad-mouthed me to the owner of the company because he was fresh out of medic school and he wanted a supervisor position. So he bad-mouthed me to the point where she didn't want to hire me then. Because
Really?
I talked to her face-to-face when my last company, I knew that they were closing down, and she was like, we'd love to have you. You know, we have, we need people with your experience. We have open supervisor positions for shifts and stuff like that. Just send me your resume, blah, blah, blah. I sent my resume in right after the company closed, or when I knew it was closing, and didn't hear anything. Called him a couple of times, didn't get an answer. And, when I actually had a little get-together with my ex-partner, his wife, a few other of my coworkers off of my shift, and one of the guys that worked on his shift, and basically found out the reason why I didn't get the job, whether it was supervisor or just street medic, whatever, was because he bad-mouthed me to the point where I didn't get the job. And this is the one thing that I hate about EMS. And you kind of talked about...
It's like a sorority, evidently?
No, it's with certain people, it's a brotherhood or a family. But then there's certain people out there who don't give two fucks or a damn about you or, what you've been in or what you've done. They want all the glory and everything to themselves.
Yeah.
So if they get a chance to, brown nose and get a step up, they're going to do it.
Right. I will say that's actually pretty similar in corrections.
Mm-hmm.
There was a time when it was a small select group, but there was a time when there were certain guys there. I was like, those guys are my brothers. I'll be there to back them up in a heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
And there are even some other ones where I'm like, I don't particularly like them very much, but I'd still be there to back them up because they're a good officer.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, I've been out of corrections for a little over a year. And, dude, I don't talk to any of them.
Right.
At all. That brotherhood went right down the tubes when I left.
But
because I actually tried to keep in contact with a couple of them, and they just showed no interest in it. So I was like, all right, never mind.
I still stay in contact with quite a few of my old coworkers, but they were people that I was on shift with every shift. Like, they were on my shift, so we knew each other. And the thing is if they had a bad call or I had a bad call, the one thing that I knew was if I needed help, they were going to be there to help me no matter what. And that's what you need. Mm-hmm. But then there's the reason why I left the first service that I was ever at was because, like I told people, like, this should be a brotherhood. We should all have each other's backs. Man, you didn't have that. And it was even a union service. So you would think that you would have the union brotherhood and the medic brotherhood, but really all it was everybody bitching and whining and moaning about whatever the hell they wanted to because they didn't get their way. It was one of those poor, pitiful me things.
Honestly, man, the last time I really felt a solid brotherhood with everyone I worked with was when I worked at UPS.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just I would go in there. Now, granted,
you get that with potheads. They're very loyal.
Honestly, that is the thing. Like, there was still a lot of strife and arguing.
Mm-hmm.
There were arguments every night amongst certain individuals. But at the end of the day, everyone had everyone's back because we all had to suffer doing the same thing. Now, you'd think, okay, well, it's nothing. It's moving boxes. You'd be surprised how jacked up that building can get when we're running, 70,000 boxes in a building that is rated for about 45.
Right, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so things would get jacked up real bad, and if you couldn't trust the person standing next to you to have your back or at least work as hard as you are, then you didn't have anything.
Well, and that's part of the other thing too is, I've worked with plenty of people who would brag and brag and brag that, and I think I've said this before, but they would make the same pay I would fresh out of medic class when I had 6 years experience, and it scared me when I watched them work with people. Because it's like, you don't know what you're doing, do you? You got fresh out of class, you've still got a sheen on your badge, and you're like, I know everything you do because I just got out of class. Oh, sweetheart. No, you don't. No. Yeah, it's shitty. But one of the other things I wanted to say was, and sorry to cut you off there.
You're fine.
I actually put in for a couple other medic positions, and I told... I actually talked about this one company because I put in for them again, just thinking maybe it'd be okay this time. No, they expect the medics to help move dead bodies in the morgue or in the funeral home whenever you're off duty. That ain't my life. And the other one I put in for, did some research on the company. The medics that work there didn't know if they were getting paid week to week. Like, they were having so much financial problems, like... They might work their shifts and whatnot, but the company might not be able to pay their employees that week, so they'd be like a week off on pay. I'm like, I don't think I want to trust a place if they can't pay their employees regularly. Right. I've seen more ambulance companies shut down from that simple fact because they're not spending the money where they need to be. So that's scary. That's really fucking scary.
That's pretty shiesty right there, man. Mm-hmm. But yeah, dude, when I was working with UPS, you could walk in the door and see somebody digging in their pocket, because you got to know people pretty well there. I mean, it was the same group of guys working in the same positions, the same nights.
Yeah,
5 nights a week. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I mean, you got to know everyone.
It was your
real
crew.
Well. Exactly. And we'd have new guys come in, and like you could see them like rustling around their pockets. I mean, they are just exhausted because it was a third shift job. You could tell like, oh, they made the mistake again up at 8 a.m.
Right.
And now it's fucking 11 o'clock at night, and they're getting hard up, and you're like, hey, dude, you don't even have break until 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna be suffering tonight. But
get some 5-hour energy.
They'd be like digging through their pockets trying to find something to get a Snickers bar, just to have something in their system. They'd be a dime short. And you'd be surprised how many times you'd see it in a normal workplace now, where like people just ignore you.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. They're just like, oh fuck it, he's short a dime. He's short a dime. Sucks to be him.
Mm-hmm.
No, in place and at UPS, like 3 or 4 people would be like, hey man, here you go.
Right. Yeah.
And like, yeah, we got your back. And I remember quite a few times I'd be sitting there and I'd pass out change, and they'd be like, oh, thanks, man, I really appreciate it. I'm like, all right, man, it's no problem. Just pay it forward, because if we don't watch out for each other, nobody else is going to.
Yeah,
the supervisors around here are going to throw you under the bus just to make themselves look good.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead and watch out for each other, man. These guys are your brothers. Like, and I did that from pretty early on. I was only there for about 6 months when I started telling new people that. And it got to the point where by the time I left, I was there for 4 years. And I was actually talking to some of the veterans that had been there longer than me, and being like, hey, man, the way you acted toward this person is not right. And they're like, oh, well, I've been here longer than you. It doesn't matter if you've been here longer than me, man. If I understand that we got to watch each other's backs,
yeah,
then we got to watch each other's backs. If you don't understand that, you're working in the wrong job. I don't care how long you've been here.
Yeah, no shit.
And that was why I went for union steward, because the steward that was in power at the time, and when I say in power, I mean she abused the shit out of her position, was doing just that.
Yeah.
Abusing her position. When somebody would file a complaint on something, she would file on top of them, so she would get a cut of the money that was supposed to get paid out to the employee.
That's dumb.
Like, oh yeah, man, it was real shiesty, the shit she was doing, man. Mm-hmm. And I didn't like that.
If I could go back to another union shop, I would. But the only shitty thing is that, when I was union, kind of the same thing, but not really. You'd have a complaint, and they wouldn't file it because it was like, oh, well, it's not a priority or something like that. It's like, come on, what the fuck? Like, you're supposed to be looking out for us. That's why you're here.
Yeah. And honestly, that's whenever somebody would ask me about being a union steward, I would tell them, like, most of the time when I save somebody or if I'm doing something, it's literally a typo from the company. Like, I had one guy who was, for lack of a better term, he was terminated.
Right.
Like, he was fired. Well, the problem was, the reason they had terminated him, quote unquote, they let too much time lapse. And by the time they turned in that termination paperwork to give us our copy, I looked at it one time and I handed it to my boss for union side. He was the head union steward. Handed it back to him and I said, it doesn't say termination anywhere on that paperwork.
No shit.
And he was like, what? And he looked at it and he read it and he was like, dude, it doesn't say termination. You're right. I was like, exactly. It said extended leave of absence. And because originally they had suspended him, his extended leave of absence, before they were going to fire him. They were going to fire him on his last day of his extended leave. Basically, they just wanted to make him sweat.
Right.
Which is shitty.
Yeah, that's stupid.
If you're going to fire someone, just straight up fire them.
Yeah, and don't
let
do
them,
it.
Yeah, let them get on with their life.
Yeah, exactly.
And,
especially since if it's like suspension, then it's unpaid suspension too.
Now, granted, did he deserve it? Did he deserve to sweat? A little bit. Okay. He was one of those really angry, roided out individuals.
Yeah.
And I never had a personal issue with him, but I kept my distance from him for a reason. I would have his back if he needed me.
Right.
But I didn't want to go get a couple beers after work with him.
You didn't want to see the fucking Hulk come out of him?
No. He was really, really smart. He was really, really strong.
Ooh.
He was the epitome of an alpha male.
I've got a story for you.
Yeah.
I've got a fucking good story for you. So, I think I've talked about this kid before. The first service I worked for, there was a kid, and I think he might have been on the spectrum a little bit. Because he had Coke bottle glasses, was a close talker, and if he went to go start an IV, he would hold the hand damn near to his face just to see where the vein would be to start an IV on him. And I never saw him start an IV successfully. I always said the first time he started a successful IV would be through his nostril because he was so close to this fucking hand. When I first met him, he asked if I wanted to go out for a drink after our shift that night. And I was like, fuck it, why not? And, a lot of people gave him a hard time, but I was like, everybody's got their quirks, whatever. So, and we ended up going to a local bar after a shift, and go sit down, and I'm having a drink, and he orders a beer or whatever like that. We have a couple of beers, I'm thinking it's time to go home, right?
And now Grant taking his pants off in public.
Even worse, we went to a biker bar. Because I knew a lot of the people that were running the place at the time. And, I got along with him because I rode bikes. He didn't ride bikes or anything, but for some reason he liked going to this place.
Shit, why not?
Right.
If you fit in somewhere, you fit in somewhere.
He didn't, but he still liked going there. Now, I lived probably 20 minutes from this place. He lived an hour from this place.
In the opposite direction.
Kind of. He decided he wanted to do the 7 deadly sins. Now, if you don't know what that is every alcohol with a first name in one drink. So he had Jose, Jim Beam, Evan, Jack Daniels, blah, blah, blah. So pretty much every hard liquor you could have, he put into this thing. And he did it as a shot. Bad fucking idea.
Yeah, it is.
Because I'm sitting there.
How do you even measure that out?
I'm just chilling. I'm sitting there having a good old time, having a couple beers. We're bullshitting. He's talking too close to me, whatever. It's like personal space, motherfucker. Learn
do
it.
Those glasses mess with your depth perception, dude? Like,
he had the kind of glasses if you took off in the summertime would burn ants. But
the dude from Trailer Park Boys.
Yeah. Well, now he's sitting to my left, and we're sitting at the bar. To my right is a very large biker individual. Cool dude, carrying on a conversation.
They call him Sasquatch.
Pretty much. He had more hair than me, which is, nobody knows what that is. But
took his shirt off. People mistook it for a Christmas sweater.
I look like I'm wearing a sweater. He, with a cut-off T-shirt, looked like an ape man. So, yeah. So I'm like talking to my buddy and then talking to him and stuff, and then we're getting along good. All of a sudden, after my buddy decides to do 7 Deadly Sins, him and Sasquatch, he walks over to Sasquatch, and he's close talking with Sasquatch. He's got his arm around him, and he's like,
Oh, no.
"Hey, dude, I've always wanted a motorcycle. So, I think, this job me and this guy over here do is the best job in the world." And he is just, and I could see Sasquatch look at him, then look over at me, then look at him, and look over at me, and I went, I got him. So I fucking, led him to the back of the room, sat him down, got him a glass of water, and, sat there for another... I didn't even drink anymore after that. I was like, dude, you've got to chill the fuck out. You've got to drive. What the fuck, man?
It's like, you see that man over there? Yeah. He's got rings on his fingers that spell out his name. Ox. You will know who knocked your ass out in the morning when you wake up.
The other guy was cool because I sat my buddy down, put a drink down, or put a glass of water down for him. I think I went up and got one more beer or something. I walked up to the dude and I'm like, "Man, I'm sorry. I've never gone out with this guy before. Didn't know he was gonna act like that." And he's like, "It's cool, man. Just he's fucking weird." I'm like, "I'm getting that. I'm getting that idea." Yeah. So that was kind of a shitty night. It was like, let's go out for a couple drinks, and then I become the babysitter.
I'm not going to say who it is because
Your
he
wife
is now a friend of a friend.
Okay.
But there was one time when I was still working second shift at my job, and somebody is just kind of looking around forlornly, and he's a new guy. So me being a good guy, I'm like, "Hey man, do you need a ride?" He's like, "Yeah man, you're willing to give me a ride?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "That'd be awesome, man. That way my wife and kids don't have to get out of bed to come get me because it's 10:30 at night." I'm like, "Yeah, dude, there's no fucking point of that. I'll take your ass home." He's like, "Okay, cool." I'm like, "Okay, I live in the West End. Where do you live?" And he's like, "Oh, it's on the way." He lived on the Southeast End.
Oh,
that ain't on the way.
No.
Maybe if I'm making a lap around the city, sure.
If you're taking the long way, the scenic route.
But anyway, so he gets in the car and he's just kind of looking at me, and he's talking and looking at me, and the way he's looking at me, no shit, I got to a stoplight. I got my phone out. I texted my wife. I was like, "This is his name. This is where I'm going. If I'm not home in 20 minutes,
call the police."
The cops." She's like, "Tasha, I'm not joking." She's like, "Seriously?" I'm like, "He's weird."
He looked like he was going to be a serial killer.
Oh, dude, I really thought I was not going to make it home that night. For
It's
a good minute. I was like, I don't have my CCW.
It's like that joke that I've heard that's, I picked up a dude, a hitchhiker the other night, and when he got in, he goes, "Man, that's crazy. Like, most people won't. How do you know I'm not a serial killer?" What are the chances of 2 serial killers in the same car? Yeah, I love that joke.
Dan Cummins, one of my favorite stand-up comedians, said something along the lines of, "Poetic justice is when an axe murderer picks up a serial rapist." It's like, can you imagine the axe murderer going into a police station? "I would like to report a rape." Like, "Can you describe the man?" "Yeah, he's in the stuffle bag."
Yeah, so I've been thinking about not really changing careers completely, because I've talked to you. I've thought about doing contract medic, going overseas and stuff like that, which would be fun. I mean,
we'd have to stop the show though.
I can get Skype. It's okay. It's not like it's a third world country.
I'm gonna have to be in the other end of that, knowing how to do that shit.
I can teach you. I'll make you a video. It'll be like 45 minutes.
You're gonna make me a video on how to do it.
Uh-huh.
How are you gonna send it to me?
I'll do it before I leave.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I'll Skype it to you.
Okay.
Okay, do you see the problem here?
Yeah, but I've thought about doing that. The money's really good, but, I'd be gone for a while. I don't really want to do that because it just, I don't know.
No, man, something like that ruins relationships, man. Like, you wouldn't want to do that.
The one thing that I was thinking about, though, and I've put a couple applications in, so hopefully I'm hearing, is safety coordinator for companies. Because I think that it's pretty much along the same lines. You just have to have a brain of what's not dumb and what is dumb, and be able to help the people who do dumb shit.
Okay, well, I'm gonna let you know now. You're gonna be going to war with a lot of the veterans in those jobs. I'm not talking about like military veterans. I'm talking about the guys who've done that job for like years before safety was a thing they had to worry about. When they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna climb up there. Where's your harness?" I don't need no harness.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's 40 feet. Yeah, you do.
Yeah, trust me. I know. I've had a lot of conversations with my father about that.
I got screws in my shoes. I'll be just fine.
Actually, my dad had a funny story he told me. This was in the early days of, where he was working.
The company.
There was a dude that was running a lathe, and they had a rule: you couldn't wear long sleeves if you were running a lathe. So, but for some reason, this guy was like, it's wintertime, I'm just going to wear a flannel shirt. So he had a long sleeve shirt on running a lathe. And
got his hand cut, didn't he? Or his arm caught, didn't he?
Yes, he did. He was wearing a long sleeve flannel shirt, didn't have one of the buttons done. It caught in the lathe and started wrapping up the shirt in the lathe. Well, apparently, luckily, this dude was a massive son of a bitch, and just literally turned and pulled his arm and ripped the entire shirt off while it was getting pulled into the lathe. So the lathe is still going. He's standing there shirtless with a flannel shirt just going...
See, I'm lucky enough where I'm scrawny enough and I wear shirts big enough because I like the room. I like the comfort.
Yeah, you do. It's like my underwear.
No, I'm like, if something happened like that with me, I'm really hoping I'd just be able to like let my arms slip out real quick, like there's enough material to give me a chance to get my scrawny ass arm out of there,
like a chrysalis.
Yeah,
you turn into a beautiful butterfly.
Just kind of just like gonna bend over and just let the machine take my clothes,
like Slender Man.
It's like I've only seen shit like that in cartoons. Me too.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't think it was gonna work. I'm glad it did. That's why you Vaseline your wrists every morning, right? Just a little extra lubricant.
Dude, okay, this is gonna sound weird, man. My grams used Vaseline for every fucking thing. No, dude. Squeak. It sounds weird. I know it does, and probably people that are listening are cracking up right now, but I mean everything. Like
hair gel, Vaseline.
No, if you fell down and scraped your knees,
Vaseline.
You fell down and scraped your knees, Vaseline.
Oh.
Dude, you had an allergic reaction to a food, Vaseline on your hives. Like, everything was Vaseline. I'm like, woman.
She grew up in the 30s, didn't she?
She was born in 31.
Okay. All right.
Here's another one. This one cracks me up to this day. I don't think I've told this one on.
All right, we got to wrap up after this one.
Oh, yeah. When I was 16 years old, okay, I was trying to decorate my room. I was trying to make my room a little more mine. You know what I mean?
Glow-in-the-dark stars.
Dude, I'm not even lying, man. If I ever got the chance, I'm married now, so I'm never going to have the chance again. I would paint my ceiling black and just use that glow-in-the-dark speckle paint.
Oh.
I think that'd be pretty cool.
That'd be rad.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, that's my 90s kid coming out.
You grew up with GAC.
Yeah. But anyway, I need a screwdriver. And at the point in time, I was the only man in the house. I had very limited tools. And my one screwdriver that I had, I couldn't find anywhere. Now, I will say, I now know where that screwdriver is all the time.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Because that is my oldest tool, and it is probably my most reliable tool. I call her Lucy. And,
for obvious reasons.
Dude, man, the handle of the screwdriver is wrapped in duct tape because my dog, when she was a puppy, when I first got her, chewed on the handle.
Yeah.
And it's all just jagged and sharp, so I just ran some duct tape around it, and it works fine.
Right.
Dude, I love that screwdriver. Anyway, I couldn't find it. So my aunt was like, well, I have one in the back of my truck. She had this big old jacked up 80s body, square body, big old jacked up, had an 8-inch lift kit on it. It was a Ford F-150.
Your grandma had a lift
No,
kit?
my aunt.
Oh, okay.
My aunt. She bought it like that.
Okay.
And now this truck was seriously sitting so high that I would have to like pretty much reach at like shoulder level just to grab the tailgate.
Okay.
Like it was like just above shoulder level. I think it was maybe like nose level or something like that. And it was fucking high. But I was obsessed with wrestling at the time.
Okay.
Remember like Jeff Hardy and stuff like that?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He was my favorite wrestler. So I would have gotten in the habit of jumping in and out of this tailgate like Jeff Hardy would get in and out of the ring, where he would like grab the top rope and was like kind of like pole vault himself over the edge. Well, I would do that. Well, I would do it all the time. Well, this one time I jumped out and my foot slipped on the flood wall barrier on either side of our driveway.
Okay.
Foot slipped, fell, and I gashed my leg open.
Oh, nice.
To gash it open. And I'm like, oh, damn, that really hurt. Ow.
I'm going to need some stitches.
I think it's just like scraped. So I limp back up to my house. By the time I look down as I get to my front door.
Pool of blood in your shoe.
No, there's blood running down my leg. I'm like, oh, okay, that really sucks. I walk into my house, through my house. My dog doesn't do anything. My cat doesn't do anything. My Grams doesn't see anything. My aunt doesn't see anything. Get to my bedroom, and there's this vanity mirror on the outside. Don't know why it was there. It was there when we moved in. But I look down as I get to the mirror, and my sock is just red. Mm-hmm. And then my foot's starting to squish. And I'm like,
oh, yeah.
Oh, no. I mean, there's just blood just profusely running out of my shin at this point. So I hobble back over to the living room, like, Mom? Because I called my grandma Mom.
Medic!
I'm like, I need to go to the hospital. She's like, why? I was like, I did this to my leg, and I picked my leg up and I put it on the back of the couch.
Oh, good.
And she's like, oh, you're gonna be fine. You don't need to go to the hospital for that. Yeah. Vaseline. She gets up. No, not Vaseline this time. If I would have let her do it if she wanted to do, she probably would have put Vaseline on it to coat it. But she goes into her bedroom. She comes out a couple seconds later. She's got a spool of thread and a fucking needle.
Oh, motherfucker.
And I look at her and I'm like, what?
No.
And she's like, I can give you a couple stitches right here. I'm like, how old are you? Not happening. And she's like, but you're gonna be, she's like, it's just gonna be the same thing here as we do. I'm like, Mom,
it's not made out of the same thing, okay?
I love you with all my heart, but if you don't take me to the hospital, I'm walking there myself. And she was like, no, you're not. Okay.
Motherfucker, watch me.
So I start walking toward her. She's like, oh my God, get in the truck. I'll take you to the hospital. My Grams drives this big old truck. Now it was my aunt's. My aunt was just like, don't get blood on anything. I'm like, okay.
Love you, family. Thank you.
I get to the hospital and they're just like, and I sit there for like an hour. Yeah. It's like blood just pouring out of my leg.
You're starting to get pale.
Now there's only I was actually starting to get cold, like legitimately
everything's
cold.
Spinning. You're vomiting profusely onto the floor.
There's only one person I think should have gone ahead of me. That was a little old man. He only had a sprained wrist, but he was a little old man.
Okay,
that's the only person I think should have gone ahead of me. No, they were bringing in people. They're like, I got a headache,
stub toe,
yeah, stuff like that. And I'm
have
like,
a piece of grain in my eye.
I'm like, is this even real life?
Should have just fell to the floor and just started twitching.
But
anyway,
so they finally get me now. But at this point, I'm getting mad. Now, at 16 years old, I had a little bit of an anger problem.
Okay.
I finally get back to the triage, and they're like, so what seemed to be a problem?
I don't know.
Don't be a smartass to the doctor and the nurse, because they control what treatment you get.
I've never taken that to heart.
And I look at him and I'm like, oh, I've got a headache. I'm feeling a little woozy. I'm bleeding profusely from my leg. That's the big reason I'm here.
I think that might contribute to, I don't know, the woozy and the headache.
And they're like, oh. I was like, I think I might need stitches. And they're like, well, let me see. And I pull it away and blood just starts running over my hand.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's right on the shin bone. I actually cracked my shin bone in the process.
Oh, nice.
And they're like, we can't give you stitches. I'm like, what are you going to do? They're like, we have to staple it. That
Staples
bitch.
Are good.
That bitch put one of the staples in my shin bone.
Oh!
Dude,
Fuck
it hurt so bad. I had 3 running down the gash in my leg. And they're like, now you need to stay off your feet. Here's some Vicodin.
Yay!
I didn't feel a goddamn thing.
No, you didn't.
And because of that, technically I stayed off my feet. I rode my bike.
You could have got a Dewey at 16 on a bicycle.
I was only like 3 blocks. I had to go to a birthday party.
All right. Well, thank you guys for listening. We appreciate it. We've wasted another hour of your life, and thank you for joining us yet again for Clyde and Andrew's amateur bullshit hour. We're glad you guys are listening to us. We still haven't got any questions recently, and we miss questions, especially from Jess. Where's Jess? Where is she?
We missed you, Jess.
So send us your questions, or
okay. Actually,
just
you know what?
email
Really
us.
quick, Jess. We hope you're okay. Like, we're not just making jokes that you haven't sent us anything, but yeah, you just kind of like dropped off the face of the world.
We
So I
need
really
some-
hope you're all right.
We need some proof of life. Can you give us proof of life? I have skills, and it's these skills.
She does too.
Okay. Well, maybe.
And she's closer to her.
Yeah, so get a hold of us. Send us emails. 107offduty@gmail.com. They wouldn't let me put the dash, so just 107offduty@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, 10-7offduty. If you have any questions or anything like that, you can get a hold of us on those places. And please go visit our friends, because we have some awesome friends that like to do cool stuff for EMS. And one of them is Level Zero on Facebook. Salty fucks with broken trucks. Yes, that is the slogan.
No shit.
Uh-huh. It's for corporate EMS burnouts. And they have some funny shit. They also have some Meeseeks stuff for first responders if you watch Rick and Morty, which I do because I love stupid cartoon TV shows like that. Also, Medic Element.
Never watched it.
Oh, fuck off, dude. You need to watch it.
I just don't have the time.
I know, but make time. Make time for what's important, okay?
Doesn't it come on Adult Swim?
Yes,
Like after I'm in bed?
probably.
Yeah.
Tell your wife she needs to give up some of the true crime bullshit and get Rick and Morty on. Medic Element. Go there. They have some awesome T-shirts. They have a Patch of the Month club, so you can like join that and get patches monthly. Or just use our discount code MEDIC18 and get buy one get one free on stickers, and enjoy those stickers because I have quite a few and they're awesome. Also, Black Rifle Coffee Company, an awesome company that makes
The Silencer.
and many other different types of coffee.
I'm still stoked on The Silencer, man. I love that one so much.
Just Black or Beyond Black are mine because I like dark coffee.
See, honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I'm hoping that I don't like mess anything up for anyone. I was not too terribly stoked on the AK-47. Like, it wasn't.
I haven't tried
bad.
it yet. I want to try it.
It wasn't bad.
I think it needs to be, since AK-47 is the espresso blend. I think it has to be made in an espresso maker.
Yeah, and see, that's probably where I'm falling short on it because I don't have an espresso maker.
Mm-hmm.
It's not bad. It's just not my go-to. For anyone who doesn't know by now, Silencer is my go-to.
Well, if you come over next time and I dust off the old espresso maker, I'll make us some AK-47 and see what that's like.
My wife would love that.
I'm sure.
No, because I'd be getting home and be like, let's clean the whole house. We're gonna fuck tonight! Yeah! Caffeine crash at 7:30.
It just twitched. Yeah, use the discount code 107 off duty and get 15% off anything you buy off the Black Rifle store. So go do that because they're awesome people and we like them. So thank you guys.
And watch their videos on YouTube because they're hilarious.
Yeah, they are. And Matt Best. Yeah, Matt Best is awesome.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.